So with that being said, what I have the opportunity, the fortune to do this morning is to introduce to all of you someone I have the utmost respect for, someone who's become a close friend over the years. Him and his wife are an incredible dynamic duo in leadership in this business, and they care so much about their team, and they care about having not only the fun times. I know Mr. Thomas always talks about when he's going to Fresno. I remember I talked to him like the day before he went to Fresno, and he was all excited. He's like, if I could get Mr. Christopher King to get on that grill, man, you need to taste the jewel. Every time I talk to him about Fresno, he talks about Mr. King and his grilling skills. And so he's also cooking up something big as far as opportunity and momentum. And he's going to talk to all of you today about how to generate results. So if you don't have a pen and paper, I highly recommend getting one right now. Without any further ado, I want to introduce to the call Regional Director, good friend of mine, Mr. Chris King.
Julian, thank you so much, bud. It's been such a pleasure. Nothing to do with business, but getting to know who you are as a person, as a father, as a business owner. You've been a complete blessing to Rose and I. And definitely, I'm telling you guys, if you want to follow someone in business who's going to take you where you need to go and where you want to go, Mr. Lewis is the one to take you there. He's been doing that much for the company, for his team and everything else. And it's just an honor and a pleasure to have a friend like you and a business partner and associate. So thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you. So, well, guys, so I'm up in Tahoe, so I can't keep this to myself. So it's snowing right now. We got a couple inches last night. So that's Lake Tahoe, the mountains, the sun. This is Christine Blitz over here, taking a break from our training. So this is where we are. We're up here for training. I stepped out for a minute to do the call. And on the way up here, Rose and I put some stuff together in our 5-hour trip. And just talk about how important it is, guys. It's like, I was wanting to say something about action, but we've been listening to a book and or reading a book, like I Double Dare You. Is I think, let me see the name of the book. Yep, I Double Dare You. There it is. And it's written by Fraser Brooks. I think he's out of the UK. And we'll go over some stuff with him. And we also been listening and doing a lot of podcasts. I don't know if Julian, you listen to Ray Higdon at all, Julian? Yeah, so there's reasons why, Julian and I listen to Ray Higdon and Rose. It's because it's just more information you can obtain about your business, how to conduct yourself. And it's really interesting because we've all been put in situations, but listening to how someone dealt with it and how they overcame certain things is actually huge. So, but today, guys, I'm going to talk about the 4 Ps. Okay. And it's pipeline, posture, position, and perspective. Okay. So the first one is pipeline. And you're gonna notice this when I talk about this, because here's the issue. The pipeline are prospects and people we're talking to. They could be family, they could be friends. And the problem is we usually only talk to a couple of people at a time. Like I'll go out and get a name and number and I'll show them the business. And when that works out or doesn't work out, then I'll go get another name and number. Well, here's the story, guys. They talk about the funnel. The funnel is, and a lot of you guys, the men, have done yard work. And when you're throwing stuff in a funnel, you're shoveling. That's all you're doing. You're shoveling a whole shovel full of gravel or whatever, but you're shoveling into the funnel. And that funnel goes into your pipeline. And at the side, at the bottom of it, if you're shoveling a whole shovel full of prospects, we'll say there's 20 people in a month, 25 people in a month, because that shouldn't be a big problem to have 20, 25 people a month, right? So they aren't doing that. They're only doing a couple of people in a month. So if you only do, let's say, 2 people a week, and those 2 people fall out, not interested, hit by a car, it doesn't matter what. If those 2 people fall out, what's the impact on you as someone who's trying to grow business? It's more severe. Now, if you had 20, 25 people, and Mr. Thomas say 3 names and numbers a day, 5 days a week, that's 15 a week. 15 and 15 is, for 2 weeks, is 30 people. Another 2 weeks is 60 people a month. If you had 60 people going in that funnel, into that pipeline, would it matter what 1 or 2 said? Heck no, it wouldn't matter at all. You got more people coming through. You can't worry about them. See, that's where the word next is. That's why it's so easy for us to say next. And all that has to do with is action. Being in action. So fill that pipeline. So don't just talk to a couple people. Talk to everybody. That way, when that rejection comes, it's no big deal. Okay. So in this book, I Double Dare You, he talks about getting 200 people. We only talk about making a list of 100 people. We still got the paperwork that we freaking print off the computer that's in our back office. Just 100. But guys, keep filling that pipeline. Do you guys print out the memory jogger for your new IBOs? All of them? Because if you don't, you're missing out. That memory jogger's there for a reason. To remind you, shoot, we go through the memory jogger again, and we still, 10 years later, we still like, holy crap, what about so-and-so? So it's not a one-time look through and throw down. Keep going through it. There's something there for you. Okay, so in the book, he talks about 200 contacts, right? 200. So here's how you know if you want to work. Here's how you know this is what Julian would do. Julian's the type of person that, and you want to give people the next thing to do. Don't leave them hanging. The next thing to do. Here's where you find your leaders. This is how you find them. Tell Julian, okay, Julian, go home now. Fill out a list, 200 people. I don't care if they want to do the business. If you think they want to do the business or not, 200 people that you know. That is your only job right now. That's your homework. Okay? And we've all had it. Julian's the type of person that's going to call me back probably 2, 3, 4 hours later and say, hey, Mr. King, I got my list done. What's next? That's a leader. That's the person you're going to want to work with. We go a couple days like, hey, Chris, how you doing? How's that list coming? Oh, yeah, man, I'm up to 7 people now. Well, we saw your phone. You had 750 people on it. Yeah, you know what, man? You know what, Julian? There were some people on there that they're not going to want to do this business. That's reality, guys. So understand it, know it. Now, let me ask you a question. What if you taught those people just to add 3 people a day? What would that do for you? 3 times 5 is 15 a week. We're back up to the 60 people a month, aren't we? So that's huge. But have them do that 7 days a week because it's not work. Most of us get up and have a cup of coffee, sit there at the coffee table, look through the memory jogger, leave ESPN off. Read the newspaper later. Newspaper ain't got nothing positive. Newspaper ain't going to say nothing about you growing your business. Not going to help you a lick. Neither is ESPN. 3 names and numbers. Well, you know what? The lady who cuts my hair. Well, you know what? The gentleman that mows my lawn. 3 things. My neighbor. I keep talking about, I keep forgetting about my neighbor. Okay. So get that list to go. So the second P is posture. This is absolutely essential, guys. And there's some numbers in here. So Your posture can be read by others. That's the tough part for us. Okay. They can read you without you even saying anything. Is that what's crazy? Look at Julian shaking his head right. Yes, because he knows, right? So have you guys ever met someone that you don't know what it is, but there's something not right about that person? Woman, male, female, doesn't matter. And Julian's shaking. Wait, I'm waving. I'm holding two hands up. Right. So we met those people that something's not right. It doesn't sit right with our head and our heart. Okay. So if you can do that, right? Do you think other people can do that to you? So what's your posture like? So let me ask you a question. If you didn't feel right about somebody because they weren't personally developing and growing, if you didn't feel right about those people, would you buy anything from them? Heck no. You you wouldn't buy a coffin for your dog if that was the case. It just that you wouldn't buy anything from them. You'd go someplace else. That's why it's so important. What are you feeding you? Okay. So here's a stat for you guys. Did you know 93% of mine, Julian's, Miss Maria, Rick, Daryl, Sam, 93% of all of our communication is nonverbal. What are you saying without saying it? Huh. But if your posture's right or your posture isn't right, you're going to grow or not grow. So here's a story about posture. And Julie, as he listens to Ray Higdon, he's might have heard this story before. So Ray is put on a three-way call. And you guys know how we always get in here. We talk about, like, Julian's telling me, Chris, you need to edify me. So when I talk to them, even though they don't know me, there's a respect line that's developed. So Ray's on a three-way call. I'm going to say Julian's Ray, and I'm the prospect, and I got my Daryl Ransom on the phone, right? And here's how his story went. I'm just using us to kind of showcase it. And I'm like, oh man, Julian, man, you're not going to believe I actually have Daryl on the line. Daryl's doing some crazy, amazing stuff, man. He's growing business. Everybody in the world, he actually makes movies. Everybody in the world wants Daryl to come make his movies. Everybody in the world wants Daryl to do this. Daryl just, I mean, he's everywhere. He's all things. I mean, Jesus sits on the right hand of God. Daryl sits on the left hand. I mean, that's what Daryl is. Right? And then I turn around and I say this, Daryl, you amazing man, you. Here's Julian. What's Julian going to do? Julian, in his position, has already been dunked underwater. But here's what's crazy. I'm pretty quick sometimes about thinking about things, and other times I'm not. I'm brain dead, but that comes with being me. But Ray says, huh, that's pretty amazing. But I got a question for you. If things are so good over there, why are you on this phone call? Huh. Resubmitted his position, didn't he? If things are so good. So guys, if you don't get edified, and we can all tell Julian's, without even talking to anybody, when Julian gets on a three-way call or calls somebody, he knows if he's been edified or not. It's just how it is, guys. You can tell. So if that ever happens to you, now you guys have a way to reposition yourself. Okay. So, and he was able to get himself back in position where he was the authority in the call and able to help. So position, or I'm sorry, posture, right? So that posture now, because of what he said he did, put him in position, right? Now he's in position to start talking about business. Because if you're not in the right position to talk about business, you're a hamster on a wheel. It's the same thing. Okay? You're not going anywhere. You're going 100 miles an hour, you're not going anywhere. So that's it. Ray was able to get his. So that's why when we talk to people, guys, that's why the edification is so important, because it puts us in position to talk business, to edify the company, to edify the co-founders, to edify our leaders, right? Because it's not about what I'm doing. It's about the team, the family we create. I mean, it's more than that. Okay. So let me see here, go over some more here. So I'm going to ask you guys, as far as your position and people wanting to see people, to get people to see the business, right? You want to, what's that? You guys at Fish know what that is. You want to attract the fish over so the fish takes the bait. I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner, but I just want to show you guys see that we're doing the same thing with a prospect. You want them to smell the bait, to like, hey, what is this? What's it taste like? Okay. So with that being said, are you pre-qualifying these people? Are you using your position to pre-qualify people, or even pre-qualify them through like I'll pre-qualify people and edify Rose? Okay. She'll pre-qualify people and edify us. And our team sees us do this. So we go someplace and the team will bring somebody over. Hey, Mr. King. And I'm like, oh, okay. Got it. So we know. Yeah, we can't go anywhere and someone's bringing somebody over because they've edified somebody else who's similar, has some similar attributes as the person that they're talking to. Okay. So when you have a position like that, and I've seen guys, and this is actually, it's a good way, but you're not developing relationships. I've seen people go out and talk to people and say, man, so your name's Julian? Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you're an engineer? Oh, that's cool. You know what? I'd love to get your number and maybe go have some coffee. Okay, so Julian and I go have coffee, and I invite Rose to show the business. Julian had no idea he was going to see business there, none whatsoever. So guys, I don't even consider that a name and number yet. Okay, I consider that your invitation to get to know that person. So that's totally doable. Hey, I really like your personality. Whatever the case, you're a hard worker. I'd love to go have coffee. Start that relationship. Okay, it could be that time or the next time. Yeah, there you go, Julian. No ambushes. Absolutely. So I tell people, if you're going to do that, that's completely fine. Go meet them for coffee without business. Don't bring me, don't bring Rose, don't bring Julian, don't bring nobody. Learn who they are. Why would they want to be in business with us? Why do they need the money? Okay. Get to know that. Now you're starting to put them into the funnel aspect of it. Okay. Once you pre-qualify them, because if I sit down and talk to Miss Maria, it's like, I talk about asking, so what do you do? How long you been there? You got kids? There's going to be a time where my questioning, I already know about Maria. So Maria's going to say, so what do you do, Chris? And that's when I can talk about that. I help people grow business. I help people get out of cure financial cancer. Now, whatever you're going to say, there's a million things out there, but what works for you? And having it down, having it not coming off the seat of your pants. I'm guilty of that a lot. So pre-qualify them before you get in a position where you can put them in a position to be sharing the business with, right? It could be even a 3-way phone call with your upline. Okay. And hey guys, it doesn't have to be your upline. It has to be your sideline. And there's some powerful people out there that partner that aren't even on the same team, that partner and use that back and forth. Right? They don't know who Miss Maria Blake is, who Rick Kubiak. But when I tell them, oh my gosh, Miss Maria, Mr. Kubiak, these guys are growing business like crazy. They've grown business. I'm actually watching them and learning from them. See, I put you in position. Okay. So get them right, do it right, and just stay into action. Now, the last one's perspective. So this one's kind of, Rose and I, we see eye to eye on this, but I'm kind of more harsh and want to explain it more harshly. So the version you guys are going to hear today is going to be from Rose. So she says, I don't want you hurting anybody's feelings. I'm like, dang it. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm just kidding. So, let me get here. Perspective. So, what is your perspective about this business, guys? Do y'all ask for favors? I mean, no. Be honest. If you're not asking for favors, just admit it. It's not like we're going to crucify you. If you're not asking for the favor, you're missing out. You're not in trouble. You're just missing out. All right. But how do you see the services with ACN? How do you see ACN? See, that's a positioning right there. How do you see ACN? How do you see the services? Are you a customer of everything that you can be? I mean, Rose and I are a customer of everything except internet. They don't have, which is really weird. We only have one internet in our neighborhood. Our neighborhood was a newer neighborhood, so it's kind of weird. But it is what it is. But everything else. But do you know why we're not afraid of asking for the favor? Because we have the services. We believe in the services. We believe in the rates. Things aren't changing. I don't tell, Sam, like, hey, you can get this right here and it's $50 and it comes back and it's 70. Sam ain't happy. Sam want to beat me up. But I believe in the services. So I believe that stuff doesn't happen, right? If I do it right and I know my services, that's not happening. So I believe I don't have to worry about it not working because I believe in it. I don't have to worry about billing. Now, billing does get hampered sometimes because it's all mechanical or all computer system generated. I understand that. But I believe in the services. I know they work. I'm using them. When I shower in the morning, I'm using my natural gas that I buy from my company. I cook a meal. I watch TV. Whatever it is, the TV turns on, which is funny because my mother-in-law, when she got started in the business, she says, well, I got services through my daughter. And then when I realized everything was still working, I thought, hey, maybe there's something to this. So it happens, guys. People doubt that. But when you have posture and people can read where you positioned yourself, that does everything. That does everything for you. So the favor thing. Now, you guys have all heard, like, if you're not asking for a favor, because everyone likes doing a favor. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. Even if Sam calls me, hey, Chris, I'm moving next weekend. I know you hate moving, but dude, I need your help. I'll be there, dog. I'll be there. What time we starting? 7. Suck, that's early, but okay. I ain't showering, no. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm just showing up and working. But Sam asked for a favor. And when I'm able to go and provide that for Sam, helped him move because he needed help, how does that make me feel? That makes me feel good. That has nothing to do with ego or arrogance. It's just you help somebody. Right? So when Sam is a person that doesn't ask for favors, hey, can you do me a favor and try my service out? He's taking away my ability to help somebody. You're taking away, and we've heard this before, you're taking away the ability from somebody else because your perspective's skewered. Here's where Rose and I separated. Said they're egotistical. They're too good to ask for a favor. Rose, no, babe. Their perspective skewered. You just got to change your perspective. I always tell people, you don't like this perspective you have, find a new one. And people look at me like, oh, that's true, huh? Same's true. Find a new perspective. People want to help. Now, look at it this way. And here's how Rose explains it. So you have identity theft protection. You have Vivint. I'm just taking two things right now. Two things that people need. And here's your posturing, because I know that of two people that way back when did other services or other companies, right? And what's interesting, because here's where it passes on. What's interesting is, you know, I really liked the lotion of this company, but it was just so expensive. You think she sold anything? She's not going to sell that to her family. You know, this is probably how her sales pitch went. This is some of the best lotion I've ever had. You guys should try it, but it's too expensive to sell it to you guys. I guarantee you. The other one was there's a drink. It was supposed to be really healthy for you. Same for two different people, same different perspective. And it was funny. Pardon my verbiage here, but she says, yeah, that stuff was really good for you, but it's so damn expensive. She's this little Honor thing. I love her. But guys, is that how you're selling your ACN products? I know you don't need TV, Julian, but you know, I have it if you do, but I know you don't need it. But what if you had what if you had in the bottle, in the cup, you had the cure for cancer? And you had a family and friend get cancer. Would you wait for them to get cancer to say something, or would you tell everybody, hey, anybody here gets cancer, guys? I got the cure. That's exactly what you're going to do. Because when someone gets cancer, they go, hey, man, I'm sick. I got cancer. They can be like, man, where's Julian? He's got the potion. We're gonna go bum rush Julian's house, whether he wants us there or not. We're gonna have some. We got cancer. Guys, it's called financial cancer. If you tell me these people out there don't need identity theft protection, your perspective's skewered. People are getting hacked. And all you can do is suggest it. I told my brother the other day, dude, your two kids already had their social security numbers hacked because he tried turning his taxes in last year. Who knows what else? You're not even protecting them. Oh, yeah, I got to get on that. I can only tell him. But I tell him from the aspect of how much he needs it. How much Rose and I use it all the time. I just found out the other day my email and password were on the found on the dark web. I don't even know where the dark web is. So when you look at it as a perspective of they need it, you're going to have a different perspective in your head. People live in a not so good neighborhood. They need Vivint home security with a camera or two. Straight up. This is about protecting. This isn't about paying me, Julian. This is about protecting you and your friggin' kids. I used to leave on fires. I'd be gone for sometimes up to a whole month. None of y'all ever seen Rose shoot, so I had to get Vivint home security because I wanted my family protected. Perspective. You're helping somebody. Somebody needs, if they don't have it already, identity theft protection. And why do they need it through you? Because of how kick butt our stuff is. Even Vivint. You know how I sell Vivint, guys? Oh, have you guys seen my videos? I show my videos. Oh, wait. Here, let me get you a night vision one. Look, you can see their face. I can identify that. And and see, by law in California, if my stuff is stored off-site, it's not stored at my house, it's stored off-site, I can actually submit it in court if needed. You know why Rose and I know this? Because we believe in it. It's why we got over 300 points. I'm not saying this to impress you, because Rose ain't letting me spend any of it anyway. But we have over 300 points because we believe in the services. We've postured ourselves. We kept our position. And we're here to help others. Yeah, could you get by without identity theft? Probably. Could you get by without having car insurance? Probably. But man, if you get hacked, you're going to be, I wish I had. If you get in a car accident, you're going to be, I wish I would have. So guys, everybody here knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. You have a plethora of places to go for services. Position yourself. Do what you need to do for your family, not for me. If you're on my team, yeah, the points are great. We'd always use the points as we grow our numbers. But it's more for us, and this is why Rose and I have always taken it. It's like we've even for people is even kicked in a little bit. I mean, I don't recommend that, but there's some people that have been put on our heart that actually needed help. And it's just because we're here to help others. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I mean, the good Lord blessed us with, in about a year and a half, back then it was team coordinator, and we just got busy and work. I mean, yeah, other people are doing it faster. I mean, they're freaking amazing. I'm not amazing. I just, I am what I am. But we kept going, and making that money isn't always for you. Don't forget that, guys. Making money, increases in the cabs and everything you guys are going to start receiving isn't all for you all the time. And I say this to impress upon you. We were able to help Rose's girlfriend who came down with breast cancer. She's going to be out of work for a whole year. We didn't know it was going to be a year, but she was out of work for a whole year. We were able to financially bring him food and we couldn't have done that without ACN. So there's a reason you guys are in ACN. It's not about you. It's about somebody else. You might not never know who they are. It's going to be something you said, something you did. Someone saw you do something. It's going to be your character. Everything's out there for you guys. So keep growing. What are you reading today? Rose and I on the way, 5.5 hours. And Rose reads to me. She's my own personal audio audible. It's true. Even at home, she can't read quiet. She has to read out loud. It's awesome. So what are you guys doing? How are you posturing up? What's your perspective? What's your position? It's all up to you now, guys. I've passed the torch. There's no excuse for anybody on this call to not have 200 points, 300 points, 400 points. No reason at all for people to set RC for a couple of months. I'm going to do it in a couple of months. It's going to be up to you. It's going to be a commitment, but you guys got to make it. Stop playing around. I mean, Thomas says that. I'm just telling you guys straight up. So, guys, I love you. I got to get back in there. I've missed half the day already. Just kidding. You guys have a blessed day. Mr. Lewis, thank you so much, bud. Wish you were up here with us. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon.